After a long season of 14 global events, the World Match Racing Tour comes to its finale in a new venue, the magnificent BAOAN district in the city of Shenzhen in China, where the 2023 World Championship will be decided between the 12 international teams that have qualified to compete.
Here we are in Shenzhen in China. This has been a few years in the making after the closure of many countries around the world during the global pandemic. It's our 23rd year of the World Match Racing Tour, and we have 12 of the top match racing teams here for the week for the SHENZHEN BAOAN final of the World Match Racing Tour. Having events in Asia is not something we've done much of in the past, and that's the real opportunity here, bringing the sport of sailing to Asia, particularly to China, and growing the appeal and interest in sailing. We're very excited and honoured to have been working with the People's Government of Shenzhen and also the local sports bureau here in the BAOAN district to really make this event happen. They've been super helpful in doing it, and we're looking forward to a really exciting week in a new venue, which is a new challenge for the sailors as well.
Becoming the World Match Racing Tour champion means joining a very select club of professional racing sailors. In this World Tour format, there have only been 11 winning skippers since the tour was first initially founded in 2000. The most successful, with 6 tour wins over a 17-year period, is Great Britain's Ian Williams. His last victory was 8 years ago, so can he finally score a record 7th win?
Well, China One Ningbo have been back on the World Match Racing Tour this year. We've competed in Congressional Cup and Bermuda Gold Cup. We had a 4th and a 3rd, which is good enough to qualify us for the finals. And a little bit different to traditional tours, it's all on this last event. The winner of this regatta wins the tour. So we, of course, were aware of that at the start of the year, and really our plan was to make sure we did enough to qualify. And then to come here and hopefully try and have a shot at winning the title. I've won the World Match Racing Tour 6 times. Obviously it's been a hell of a ride. So yeah, absolutely, to win the 7th world title would be the culmination of a lot of hard work. The match racing circuit and the match racing tour, they still, for me, offer fantastic racing and a great way to test myself against other fantastic sailors. I love the concept of being in supplied boats, all equal equipment. Gives good opportunities to the young guys coming through, and that was something I really appreciated when I was first on the tour. And now, now here we are as a 6-time world champion, and we've got all these young guys snapping at our heels. They're hungry, and they probably get a bit more time to practice than we do. And we'll see if we can hold them at bay.
But there are many top-class rival teams here looking to win this coveted trophy in the coming week, including the defending World Tour champion Nick Agnott Johnson from New Zealand and the #1 ranked sailor on the World Tour, America's Chris Poole.
Yeah, so this year is our pretty much our best season we've had on the World Match Racing Tour. We started off the season Congressional Cup and had a history-making win there, which is pretty awesome. It's a bit unfortunate that it is a one-off championship, as we've put together such a strong season. There's no guarantee though that we're going to be the winners at the end of this, and that's a bit tough. But that's sometimes that's how racing goes. We kind of look at the season as it was all practice, and now we've just got to make sure we kind of capitalize on the strengths we found over the year and minimize mistakes, and hopefully we'll be into the finals on the last day, and then it's anyone's game. But I think at some point in my career I will get my name on there. It'd be monumental. It's like to be able to say that I'm a world champion is right up there with the best titles you can have. I'm very fortunate that I can say that I am the Congressional Cup champion, and so I would love to add world champion to that in the same season.
We've come second in the tour 3 times, and and then the actual finals in Japan. It was a one-off final in that year, just like this one actually. So we've come close a few times, but never quite got there. So it's pretty exciting to have a shot at it. Still feeling a little bit rusty. A few things have to go our way to get there, but hey, we've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, for sure. Some of the other teams have a bit more experience. They're a bit older. They've been in the circuit for a long time. But I'm pretty sure that we can bring some other skills to the table by being a bit younger than the other guys, and hopefully that will show in the end of the week. Being able to come away with a win at such a thing as the World Match Racing Tour would be a huge achievement. It's something that we have dreamt about for I don't know how many years, and yeah, it would just be amazing, to be honest.
The World Championship event begins in fitting style, with a glamorous opening ceremony, including dignitaries from the BAOAN district of Shenzhen and the event sponsors, welcoming the top 12 match racing teams from 9 countries to this event, which has an impressive prize purse of $200,000 US at stake. There's tension and excitement in the air at the event site. In the center of the BAOAN district, a temporary dock's installed for the 12 teams, and it's a bustle of activity for the first day of competition. It's an all-star cast in Shenzhen, and with each team's ranking based on the opening match race positions, any of these teams could win. Seated 15th, Megan Thompson from New Zealand is the sole female skipper in the event, while the defending champion is ranked 8th.
Really excited to be back here in China, racing in Shenzhen for the first time. We were lucky enough last year to come away with the win, and we're really happy just to be back here and giving another crack to defend our title.
Really looking forward to a good regatta. I think it's going to be very tough. It's a very strong field, but I also feel like we've got a very strong team, and I think we've got a good chance. The smaller boats do tend to favour a little bit the younger teams, the more athletic teams, but hopefully we can use some of our experience and still be competitive.
We actually used these boats at the earlier event on the World Tour at the Match Cup Sweden, so we have a bit of practice in them. Although Match Cup Sweden's a bit of a different venue, it's a bit more open water. We had waves, we were surfing, blowing 25 knots, so this will be a little slower pace, but nothing we haven't trained for.
Racing begins with a 3-day round-robin format, where the top 8 will progress to the quarterfinal stage. Due to their tremendous achievements this year, Pool's #1 ranked team is the one to beat. But there's immense talent throughout the fleet. #2 seed is the hugely experienced Yanni Bertsen from Sweden, who won the Bermuda Gold Cup for the 3rd time earlier this year. Showing that experience counts on the World Tour, Switzerland's Erik Mannen is the 3rd seed, after consistently finishing 5th place in 2 qualifying regattas. However, at just 26 years old, Denmark's Jeppe Borg shows remarkable talent and comes to the event as the 4th seed after losing to Pool in the final of the Congressional Cup earlier this season. Meanwhile, New Zealand's Nick Agnott Johnson is the defending World Tour champion and 5th seed, who must be feeling the pressure with his title at stake. Day 1 and competitors are met with a mix of conditions to test their skills in these one-designed Far East 28 yachts as the racing begins in a swirling light breeze.
We had a good practice even though we were missing 2 of our guys, and we kind of stepped onto the boat and kind of set off on the same page we left off Con Cup, which was our target. Comms were good, boat speed felt good, and just trying to lock into just driving the boat as fast as I can.
Pool and his team scored 2 wins and 2 losses before the wind dies, while Sweden's Björn Hansen was on a 3-race winning streak.
It's like a minefield out here. It's coming wind from everywhere or nowhere at the same time, and Nisse and the guys did a fantastic job finding the small bits and pieces of pressure we could find out there. So I'm extremely happy to have 3 points.
With only limited racing possible, everyone was hopeful for a building breeze with many more matches still to come in the round-robin stage.
Yesterday was a pretty tough day, light wind, trying to get caught up today, but here we are. So not a lot of breeze at the moment, and the forecast is not too good, but we're out here ready to go and hoping.
After a delay on Obey in the heart of Shenzhen City, the wind finally came through on cue in the afternoon. 4 flights were completed in demanding conditions that required precise boat handling.
Very tricky conditions here, shifty winds going up and down, but hopefully gonna get some good wind in today, and I'm fortunate to have a good crew that helps me get the boat going.
New Zealand's Nick Johnson, the reigning World Match Racing Tour champion, scored 2 points, beating Sweden's Janni Berntsen and Switzerland's Erik Monnen to finish with 4 wins.
We just had a really close race against Janni Berntsen and his boys from Sweden. He did a great job in the start. We ended up back to the line probably 30 seconds too early than we should have been. The boys did a great job of just going fast and staying composed, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
USA's Chris Poole also scored 2 wins to reach 4 points.
We were racing against Matty Sepp, and we had a good pre-start, held him up in the dial-up for quite a bit, and then it was back to the line and had a little bump with an umpire boat. Some holes to watch out for on the race course, but otherwise it was good.
The 6th flight featured a tense match, which could have gone either way with these 2 highly experienced teams. USA's Gavin Brady against Sweden's Janni Berntsen, with the American skipper triumphant.
Pre-start went our way. He sort of made a bit of a mistake and got locked between us and the committee boat, and then we nearly hit the committee boat, so it was all very close at the windward end. I think he's probably one of the hardest people to beat in these types of conditions, so it was a good win for us.
The final 2 flights of the day saw superbly tactical matches, but in the dying rays of daylight and wind, Ian Williams took a point off New Zealand's Megan Thompson to boost his tally.
We've had a little bit of a slow start on China 1 Ningbo. We're 2 wins, 3 losses, but hopefully we'll be able to get on top and get more wins than losses going forward.
Bjorn Hansen is 5 from 5 after 2 days with a clear lead over the 3 chasing on 4 wins and 2 losses. Surprising results for Williams and Bork, but this is only the halfway stage in the round-robin format. After a weather front moved through overnight, the city of SHENZHEN was bathed in sunshine for day 3, lighting up the round-robin qualifying series. Like most of the sailors, Megan Thompson is looking forward to the day and a chance to sail in stronger breeze.
It's been a pretty challenging event. The conditions have made it tricky. We've been so close every time, but just on the wrong side of it. We just got to keep it close and just fix the little things that are going wrong.
The racing begins with some fascinating matchups, and a masterfully tactical race by Megan Thompson sees her score a point over the Irish team of Rory Finnegan, despite their spirited effort. As the day progresses, a number of teams begin to have an impact on the scorecard, with every point counting and only the top 8 advancing to the quarterfinals. Italy's Rocco Attili takes the scalp of defending World Tour champion Nick Johnson from New Zealand to secure his 4th point and put him in contention for a quarterfinal spot.
It was a good match. We had a couple of change of leads during the match, and at the end it was a neck and neck until the finish line, so pretty fun, I must say.
In that same flight, Roy Finnegan was pitched against the #1 ranked match racer in the world, Chris Poole, and his Riptide racing team from USA, and took his most high-profile win so far, defeating the Americans.
It's always great to beat Chris, you know. I've raced against him a couple times. It's another point on the board for us. It's been tricky conditions out here, so every win counts quite a lot. So yeah, we're just taking it race by race.
The 6 to 8 knot breeze holds, and under Randy Smith's direction, the race management team pushed through the remaining round-robin series matches, where the fate of many teams is sealed. The tension built as the results update. Who would qualify for the next stage? Veteran Gavin Brady's return to match racing this year shows he's lost little of his talent, finishing on 6 points to put him in contention. And 6-time world champion Ian Williams also finished the day with 6 wins, as did last year's champion Nick Johnson. For the #1 ranked match racer in the world, the pressure was truly on Chris Poole, having suffered 5 losses with 5 wins, as he faced a must-win final match of the round-robin series against the undefeated Swedish team of Bjorn Hansen on 8 wins.
You know, it was our last race of this round robin, and we haven't had the best day, but with Bjorn we came out, you know, we were pretty confident in our game plan. And then on the downwind, the guys did a really nice job positioning to keep us in clear air and just stretch away enough to take the win.
Racing continues to sunset with 7 flights completed. Sweden's Janni Berntsen comes to form just in time with an epic race win over Erik Monin.
The Swiss guys are always really good in the light conditions. We actually managed to get a penalty because it was such a light jibe wind, which I thought we were doing clear, but you have to fill your main, which probably the umpire thought we didn't do, so we got a penalty there. But anyway, just managed to reach the pin and ahead of them, so a really tight race, and we're happy to get the point necessary.
Despite the loss, the Swiss had a good day and finished with 7 points.
We were able to win 4 out of 5 matches, so that's really good. We were at the lucky end often, so that was good for us, and every point is very, very important now.
Top-class international match racing at its best, and it's been a sensational return to the Tour by Hansen and his team, losing just 1 in 11 matches, while Monin and Williams have drawn on all their experience to win 8 matches. And what a return to match racing for Gavin Brady with 6 wins. But the biggest story this week has been Megan Thompson, who on countback, after beating Jeppe Bork, narrowly avoids the cut and secures the very last place to advance to the quarterfinal stage. The Far East 28 yachts have a proven record in match racing regattas, but demand precise handling and skill to achieve optimum performance, as Niall Malone explains.
With this event, we're sailing on the Far East 28 Rs. They're a monohull keelboat. They're quite interesting sailing in these conditions. It's very light, very flat water. They're a stern-hung rudder, so it makes it interesting with, especially in the pre-starts for match racing, trying to establish overlaps and control, as opposed to quite often with match racing you don't have a stern-hung rudder because the boats are not dinghies. So it's an interesting feature on this boat. We've got the Traveller control system here, which is mostly run by the main sheet trimmer. We're sailing with asymmetrical spinnakers, or genicas. Normally you would be hoisting the spinnaker from the bow during most match racing events. These spinnakers come out of the cockpit hatch, so that makes it a little bit more tricky with drops and hoists, just getting the timing right. Here on the cabin top we've got the jammers, spinlock jammers. So we've got the jib halyard, and then most inboard is the main halyard. We tie the main halyard off, jib halyard's getting adjusted a lot on the winch. And then the spinnaker halyard we don't actually use very much. We've got up on the mast a nice little feature here they've added on, is to have a cleat on the mast so that when you're doing the hoist you can pull straight from the mast, gives you a lot more room, you can get the kite up a lot faster. And then we've got a large bowsprit, comes out approximately 1.5 metres. It's a requirement going around the bottom mark to have the bowsprit away so that you can't increase your overlap with it, and it is quite a tricky boat to get the bowsprit back.
With the round-robin phase completed, the final 8 teams remain in the running for the winner's prize purse of $50,000. But who will emerge victorious? The 8 skippers left after the cut now take the stage for the quarter-final draw. Round-robin winner Bjorn Hansen can choose his opponent, and in classic selection process, he chooses to race 8th place finisher Thompson in the quarterfinals.
Is this the ranking or is it? Hi, Mayan. If we were 8.
Erik Monin selects a man he's raced against countless times over the years, Janni Berntsen from Sweden, in what many would see as a surprise decision, which leaves Britain's Ian Williams a choice of 2, and he opts for the #1 seed Chris Poole, which given their history of racing is arguably a huge gamble. That leaves the final pair of Gavin Brady from the US against the defending world champion from New Zealand, Nick Egnott Johnson. Reaching the quarterfinal stage of the World Championship is certainly an achievement, but now their thoughts focus on winning the title itself.
We've been on the tour since it started in 2000 or 2001. I think we did the first event on the tour, and we've been regular on the tour ever since. It would mean extremely much to win the tour, for sure. It feels like we had some unfinished business when the tour went into multi-hull, and it feels great to be here. And you know, we don't expect to win this event, but we feel that we at least have a shot on it. So it feels great.
We're realistic that there are lots of contenders here. The game is very open. That's good for us as well. But yeah, that would be of course a long time achievement and the dream coming true. Of course, that's very important for us to be able to win this tour. We were European champion 3 times. We were #1 in the world rankings, but in the World Championship specifically, we didn't make the big result or a very good result. That's what we're still chasing.
I mean, last year we had the privilege of going over to Sydney and competing in the Match Race Tour final, and some boats that we knew really well back at home, the Elliott 7s, and we were lucky enough to actually come away with the win for that, picking up the trophy. So super stoked, and we really wanted to just come back here and give it our best shot to defend the title. And yeah, what an awesome place to come and give it a crack at, right? Obviously the World Match Racing Tour trophy is super prestigious and there's some amazing names on there, so I think our team were just pretty honoured to actually be able to chuck the knots racing onto that trophy. So yeah, pretty cool, and really hoping to be able to do it again this year.
Yeah, I mean, we did a couple of the tour events this year and we got lucky enough to somehow qualify. So yeah, who wouldn't want to be a part of the finals? So here we are. I'm competitive like the rest, but it's taking one race at a time and trying to learn from each race.
We're really happy to get all the way here. You know, it's when you come up to my age and doing so many events, it would be a really, you know, achieving the top, what you have been fighting for all these years, and I think we have a good shot for it, and we're going to take that opportunity if it comes.
A tantalizing lineup of top-class talent now goes head-to-head, with the first team to win 2 matches in each pairing advancing to the semifinals. The day's conditions on the water present a stark contrast to the earlier races, with a shift in the wind direction, substantial gusts, and consistently stronger breezes. In the Bernsen-Monnen contest, it takes only 2 matches to decide who advances to the semifinals, with the Swedes dominating from start to finish, continuing a remarkable run of results here in the city of Shenzhen that has seen them recover from near elimination in the round-robin series to now reach the semi-final stage. An astonishing performance. As expected, however, is a fiery battle between Poole and Williams. These 2 super experienced teams have faced off countless times before on the tour, and they don't disappoint in the strengthening win with penalty flags and overtaking gambles. With the pair tied at 1 win each, it comes down to the 3rd and deciding match, which is a cat and mouse chase all the way around the racetrack. On the final run to the finish, Williams is able to escape Poole's grasp and clinch his place in the semifinals.
It was a crazy quarterfinal. We won 2 races and he won 1, I guess is the difference. In the end, anybody could have won. Honestly, my mind's blown. It's just been so many decisions today. Non-stop decisions, most of them wrong, but fortunately we got some right and it came good at the end.
But the shock of the day comes in the Bjorn Hansen-Megan Thompson match. Hansen is undone by the Kiwi skipper. 1 win each, then in the final match, an incident around the mark leads to a drop spinnaker and the Swedish boat nastily got the kite tangled around the keel. It's a sensational win for Thompson, who becomes the first female skipper in World Match Racing Tour history to reach an Open World Championship semi-final.
Yeah, it was a pretty tight quarters. We lost the first one by quite a long way actually. And then the second match was super tight. They got a penalty at the top mark and that kind of gave it to us towards the end. We managed to sail away from them. And then the third one, it was all on that the last couple of beats.
The final pairing of Nick Egnott-Johnson from New Zealand and Gavin Brady from the USA sailed late in the day, and it's another masterful display with Gavin Brady eclipsing the Kiwi team in the gusty winds, taking a 2-0 victory.
Really relieved actually, because I thought this was going to be a really tough match. I mean, he won the World Championships last year for a good reason, but went our way. The guys did a fantastic job. I kind of felt we had a small speed edge. Don't know where it came from, but I think just something we've been working on all week. So that was sort of feels good going into the finals or semis with good speed.
It was a day of contrasting fortunes that sets up a fascinating final contest, where the 2023 World Match Racing Tour champion will be crowned. Inviting the world's top match racing sailors to compete in Shenzhen perhaps underlines the enthusiasm China is showing for sailing in general. As the president of World Sailing, the sport's governing body understands well.
Sailing in Shenzhen is just a start at the last 20 years. We have a local competition, we have a China Cup in the east part of Shenzhen. But this time is the first time to have such high-level competition in the west, the part of Shenzhen, which is a new one. And after 3 years, we are happy to see the track team come to the BAOAN for the final. And what I have to say is thank you for bringing this competition to Shenzhen. It's not only for the competition, but for the promotion. And it's good to the local audience to see such a beautiful competition and high-level sailors here. And it's good for our future.
And so the scene is set for the deciding day of the 2023 World Match Racing Tour Final here in Shenzhen, China, with 4 teams left to battle for the $50,000 first place prize. 6-time Tour champion Ian Williams from the UK chooses to race against New Zealand's Megan Thompson, who was looking to become the first female skipper to ever win the title. That leaves a battle between 2 hugely experienced teams, Yanni Berntsen from Sweden and Gavin Brady from the US, neither of whom have won the championship before. With winds around 6 knots, the semifinals begin with full intensity. In the first match between Williams and Thompson, the game is super close, approaching the windward mark on the second lap. Thompson has the lead, but only just as she squeaks around the mark, and oh, she's hit it. Contact, that's going to be costly. Thompson knows it, so she immediately rolls into a luff as Williams tries to roll over the top of her to windward. There's the blue flag penalty. She's got to offset that penalty. Aggressive, Thompson luffs up. Williams responds, keeping clear and pulling forward over Thompson. Now the spinnaker collapsing on Thompson's boat. She's slowing down as Williams accelerates. Ian Williams pulling forward. There's another penalty, but it's a green flag. Williams in big control now. He jibes onto starboard. He's got right of way. Thompson knows it. She immediately jibes to keep clear. Is she doing enough? Is Williams going to go for a luff? Yes. It's the same move that she tried, but this time it's Williams to leeward. Oh, it looks like a collision there. Screaming and yelling, another penalty flag is flown as Williams is not done yet. He pulls forward. Here comes the umpire. Another blue flag penalty to Thompson. Major errors there at the top of the track as Ian Williams extends his lead to the finish and earns an impressive victory. In the other semi-final match between Berntsen from Sweden and his famous orange-clothed crew have worked out a narrow lead over Gavin Brady's team at mark number 1. But a jibe in the fickle light breeze gives them trouble filling the spinnaker. Here's Brady rounding and rolling immediately into a jibe. Well, it doesn't look pretty, but that puts him in a nice position to be on top of Berntsen's breeze. Now the wind fills and Brady gets it first as he accelerates, powering over the Swedes on the run. Not a happy sight for Berntsen, who watches Gavin Brady ride home for the first point in their semifinal. In match 2, it's a pretty even start for both Williams at the pin and Thompson at the boat end. But as they tack, Megan has the right side of the course in her bow forward in a building breeze that gives her a slight lead, which she maintains, rounding the windward mark with the advantage over Williams. At the turn, Thompson rounds in control, her flawless crew rushing into the hoist. And it's good, delivering a perfect. Spinnaker set as the wind fills, and they're away. And they'll settle into speed on the run as they extend their lead. Here comes Ian Williams behind. With little to do but watch Megan Thompson head for home. Not something you see every day as Megan Thompson takes a point over the 6-time world champion to even up the match. In a shifty building breeze, Principal Race Officer Randy Smith quickly resets to begin race 2, with Berntsen and Brady luffing up in the pre-start as Brady tacks onto port, ducking the Swedes. It's a strong move as a leeward boat that puts him in control as Brady accelerates towards the right-hand end of the line, the clock ticking down. He'll luff up now, and Berntsen responds, luffing himself. Berntsen will tack away and head for the pin. Meanwhile, Brady ducks down below the signal boat. There's the gun. Brady, a good start, and Berntsen over early, has to go back. Brady immediately capitalizes on to starboard and takes an early lead. At the top mark, there's traffic with another match. Brady ahead, Berntsen weaves in between them, and Brady keeps his eye behind him. Berntsen on his hip, and Brady will roll into a jibe on starboard to leeward. Brady's got control. Berntsen in big trouble here. He's got to avoid the spinnaker flying everywhere as Berntsen jibes to windward of Brady. How close was it? Well, there's the answer. The spinnaker drapes over the crew. It's contact. Brady waving his almost hits a boat in front of him. Brady avoids, calling for multiple flags, waving his hand, not happy with Berntsen. And this is interesting. Berntsen gets a penalty, but so does Brady. It's a yellow and a blue flag penalty, meaning they are offset. Everything is even, and Brady just maintaining his fight for the front. Backup wind, Brady has extended, protecting his lead from the left-hand side. And this, the final set for Gavin Brady, as he tacks around the windward mark to head for home, rolling into the hoist. There's Berntsen in the background. Now, Berntsen does have rights. Brady putting his bow down as they go into the hoist. It's a collision course there. Brady has to avoid. He does, just puts his bow up and keeps clear. Berntsen still sails upwind for the mark as Gavin Brady heads for the finish, knowing now that they are just one win away from a place in the final. Match 3 of Williams and Thompson with one win apiece, and it looks like there's going to be an incident right at the start. Williams tacks on to starboard with the right of way. Thompson tries to get in there on port, crossing Williams. It's not going to happen. She'll tack back. She may have also hit the pin. Ian Williams tacks away onto port in the lead, but definitely going to see, there it is, flags flying from the British team, and rightfully so. Looks as though Thompson may get a penalty, and she does. It's a blue flag as Williams sails on upwind. But Thompson's right back in the match, heading downwind. This is to the finish. Remember, she still has that penalty to undertake. Ian Williams looking to get into the zone so he can call for rights to jibe at the finish. Main trimmer backing the main, trying to throw disturbed air into Thompson's sails and slow her down, but it's not happening. Thompson's actually increasing her speed. Williams looking to jibe. He's in the zone. He's going for the jibe. Big collision. Megan Thompson hits Ian Williams, and now the two teams pirouetting as they spin around each other. Ian Williams is not sure what to do as he tries to untangle Megan's yacht from his own.
Protest.
Continuing to circle, this dance is not over between Ian Williams and Megan Thompson. There's a second penalty now for Thompson. As the teams try to untangle each other, pushing Thompson's boat away from Williams. They've still got to finish the race. Williams has the tiller back in his hand, and Thompson's going to try to tack in there. I'm not sure she can do that. Williams, another flag. Thompson tries to pass him at the finish and luff him up, but oh no. It's another third flag for Megan Thompson. A black flag means she's disqualified from the race. And the point goes to Ian Williams. Here's a slow motion on board as Williams jibes. There comes the Spinnaker pole, catches him by the legs. Megan Thompson's boat literally takes out Ian Williams. There goes the tiller. Williams is a bit confused and dumbfounded. He's done driving, and now he goes into damage control mode while protesting Megan's team. When the smoke finally clears, it is Ian Williams who goes up 2-1 over Thompson. And more racing to come. Match 3 of Berntsen and Brady is also underway. And trailing by 2 points to 0 this time, Johnny has the upper hand, rounding the windward mark with Brady far behind. Saving match point and clearly focusing on survival in this tense semifinal. Match 4 of the Thompson-Williams semifinal, and this is a must-win match for Thompson. Off to start, Williams looks good to the left of his opponent and right on Thompson's bow, giving her dirty air. That's trouble for Megan Thompson, and she had to tack away. Williams capitalizes from the left-hand side upwind and extends his lead. And look at the breeze just above Williams at the top of the screen. That's going to advantage the Brits even more into the windward mark for the hoist. It is Williams ahead. Perfect set, as you'd expect, but Thompson is close enough to attack from behind, less than 2 boat lengths, and she's gaining right here as her crew rolls into the set. Can Thompson catch up? Can she keep her hopes alive in the regatta as Williams starts to extend? The answer is no. Williams keeps an eye over his shoulder. Megan Thompson from behind cannot catch up, and Williams heads for the finish line. He and his team have now booked their place in the World Match Racing Tour Championship Finals. Semifinal 2, match 4. It's Brady with 2 points and Berntsen with 1. As they head for the line, Yanni Berntsen pushing Gavin Brady to be early. Brady is able to get across the line easily, and now the first tack right after the start is Brady from port just to lure to Berntsen, and it's a beautiful tack. He looks over his shoulder as Berntsen works up some gauge to windward. Can he live there as the two teams head upwind? Eventually, no. He has to tack away to the right-hand side as Brady extends, and Berntsen is now a tack down. Round of the top mark, it is Gavin Brady checking on Berntsen, still sailing upwind. Brady looks comfortable as he extends his lead downwind towards the finish. And with this final jibe, Brady knows he and the True Blue Racing team can celebrate booking their place in the final against Ian Williams. What an achievement after so many years away from the World Match Racing Tour. What a comeback year for Gavin Brady.
Well, come second in the World Match Racing Tour twice back in the day, so it would be a little frustrating to come second again, but it's a privilege to be in the final, especially against someone like Ian. I think both teams have got nothing to lose. Hopefully we'll see some really good quality match racing.
So we're racing Gavin Brady. He's one of the skippers who's even older than me. So hopefully we'll beat him with youthful exuberance and aggression.
That sets up a tantalizing finale for the 2023 World Championship title. Ian Williams vying to become the first skipper to win the coveted trophy 7 times, and Gavin Brady looking to claim his first. After a cagey pre-start in the first match of the finals, it's Williams who prevails on leg 1 to reach the top mark with a 2-boat length lead over Gavin Brady. The breeze has gone light as the crew rushes into the hoist. Brady just behind, close enough to attack as his crew springs into action. And there's trouble on Williams' boat. The spinnaker's wrapped. Quartet crew trying to sort it out, but it's ugly and it's slow. Here comes Brady from behind. He's just jibed on top of Williams' breeze. The spinnaker sets, the crew hits the rail, and the Americans accelerate. It's going to be a lead change. Big trouble for Williams to Leeward as Gavin Brady takes the lead. What an uncharacteristic mistake for the Brits as they give chase.
Everything on the halyard, please. Please.
Now it's Williams on the back foot, but he's close enough to give Brady a bit of trouble. Brady now in the defensive lead position. Around the bottom gate, and it's Gavin Brady who chooses to go to the left-hand side ahead of his opponent. Williams will follow around instead of split. That's because there's a big amount of breeze just in front of them on this side. Brady's going to get it first, and he accelerates as Williams continues on starboard. There's the difference on the final run. All Williams can do is watch as Gavin Brady draws first blood.
He showed his experience in the start, and his time and distance was pretty good. He got a nice start to the right of us. We just kept it close and waited for an opportunity that appeared at the top mark. So it was just one of those races that there was one defining moment in the race, really. And then we made a really big call at the bottom to tack out around the bottom mark, which paid off. We just sort of sailed in phase and worked in our favour. So it was sort of not sure if it was good luck or good management.
Into the pre-start of race number 2, and the teams have switched boats to keep things even, so it's Ian Williams in the blue yacht, Gavin Brady in the orange as he gives chase. Close there as Brady pushes. About a minute, 30 seconds to go to the start.
Say again.
Both teams towards the left-hand end of the line, and Williams is in a bit of trouble here. Brady is in control so far. Williams trying to tack and get back to the right-hand side of the starting line, coming up on a minute to go. Brady's not letting him have it.
Say again, Sid.
1 minute to the start. Both boats luff up onto starboard. Brady to windward, keeping his opponent Williams pinned down to leeward. Finally, the door opens. Brady tacks. Williams responds, matching his move. Now it's Williams pushing. Both teams heading towards the signal boat to the right-hand end of the line with 40 seconds to go. Big dig there from Williams as he switches sides with his opponent. Now he's to the right, which will be strong at the start. Brady, to my eye, looks as though he wants the left-hand side as both boats tack for the line. 20 seconds to go. There's the signal boat, the right-hand end of the line up on the right-hand corner. Williams pushing. Brady a little bit early. He'll put his bow down as the clock ticks down. So it's going to be Brady to the left-hand side. Ian Williams will squeeze up into a tack onto port, and it'll be a split tack start. There's the gun with Brady on starboard, heading left. Williams on port to the right. The team split sides upwind. This is a nervous moment in match racing. Who will get it right? Who will have the lead at the top of the track? Richard Sydenham looking for the best breeze, and he's found it. Williams capitalizes to take a 4.5 boat length advantage as they roll into a spinnaker set. The breeze is getting light. It's a tack set, putting pressure on the crew. There's Brady behind. Williams with his eyes set on a record 7th World Championship victory. Kite is set, but the pole is not. Crew recognizes it now as they ease the tack line and struggle to get that pole out as Brady sets 4 boat lengths behind, giving chase. Finally, the pole was sorted and Williams maintains his advantage downwind. All the way around the track, Williams has held off Brady to even the score as Williams takes his first point in the finals of this World Championship.
Yeah, well, it's still super shifty and tricky out here, but I feel like we're improving all the time. We're getting smoother, and that's really the challenge: is to be both smooth and aggressive with the tactics, tackle on all the shifts, but still be smooth. And that's what we're really working on at the moment.
Approaching the start of race number 3 of this World Championship final with both teams tied at 1 apiece.
Yeah, no, really happy. I think the result's more than we could have hoped for, and yeah, so just happy to be here and yeah, finish the way we did. You know, you're always learning every event, and hopefully we can build upon this and come back to whatever's next stronger.
It's Brady tacking at the gun. Williams on starboard, so Brady's going to have to duck, and it's a big duck. Just behind Williams, Brady shifts to his right. Williams rolls into attack to pin him. He's done so. Brady also rolling into attack. This is a move that Brady likes. Usually the boat on the right is in the right, and there's a penalty flag flown as the teams split. And surprisingly, Brady is the one who gets the penalty. He seems confused as well as the teams head upwind. Williams tacks to port to stay with his opponent, and it's Williams with the advantage at the top of the track just below the windward mark. Williams is tacked in front of Brady, who squeezes up but does not tack away. Very close between the two teams. Williams gets a tack in on starboard. He's in control. Brady will tack bow forward to lure. There's the mark. And the teams have not tacked around it yet. Williams pinning Brady past the mark. Here's the luff. Brady tacks. Williams tacks. Now Brady can't go inside because they're still in the zone, so it is Williams' match, and there is that blue flag penalty that Brady will still have to turn downwind as the teams roll into the spinnaker set. Brady looking pretty strong here. It was a slow set for the Brits. Slow set for Brady as well, but he's in a good bow forward position. Now the kite fills for the Americans, and Brady pulls forward. Williams luffing. Big trouble for the Brits. Brady will roll over the top and blanket the Brits' breeze. There's the lead change. Brady now out in front, but Williams hanging in there from behind despite his spinnaker being collapsed from the dirty air off of Gavin Brady's sails. Williams in trouble. He's going to have to jibe away, and he starts to. Brady rolls into a jibe, but no, it's a fake. Williams stays on port and shifts sides with his opponent, so he'll have starboard advantage when the two teams meet again. That's a good move for the Brits, but Williams is still behind. Breeze dropping for both teams as they settle into speed mode with Brady just ahead. Going into the bottom of the track. It'll be Brady out in front. He's dropping the spinnaker to round the left-hand mark and take the left side of the upwind leg. Now that leaves a decision for the Brits. Ian Williams sets up to jibe. He'll split to the right-hand side of his opponent and round the opposite mark. As he heads upwind, Brady is already tacked to stay with Williams. Upwind, a big puff of breeze on Brady's bow to the left-hand side. He's going to get the wind first, and he does right there. The boat heeling. The sails being eased. Now Ian Williams gets a piece of the same breeze as Gavin Brady is in a bow-down, fast-forward mode, trying to get over the top of his opponent. But at the top of the track, the game has changed. The breeze has gotten light, and Ian Williams has managed to get back out in front of Gavin Brady as we head downwind, this to the finish. And there is that blue flag penalty, ominously reminding Gavin Brady that he still has to spin a turn or offset the penalty to win the match. Slow jibe for Brady behind. as he tries to split from Williams, who will stay to the left of his opponent, again protecting that all-important starboard tack advantage downwind. This game is incredibly close. Brady's actually moved forward on his opponent there. Looks like he's ahead, but Ian Williams to leeward is in a strong position, pinning Brady from jibing to the finish, effectively blocking him from finishing this race. And remember, Brady still has to shed that penalty. Brady looking for a chance to jibe, to turn left, to get to the finish. Here it comes. It's going to be close. Brady is jibed. He's in a position to foul here. I don't know. There's going to be a penalty on that for sure. Williams not happy with it. Brady's taking the lead. Looking at the umpires. Oh, it's a second blue flag. Gavin Brady will have to spin his penalty turn twice. That means the match is going to go to Ian Williams, now 2-1 over Gavin Brady. At the start of the fourth race, and it's match point for Great Britain's Ian Williams and his China 1 Ningbo team, with USA's Gavin Brady in a must-win situation as they approach the starting line with less than a minute to go. Ian Williams here to windward of Gavin Brady. Both teams heading for the pin. Brady starting to squeeze up, closing the gauge with Ian Williams, who's a little bit early. Here comes a luff. Brady has rights. Williams responds. Less than 20 seconds to go. Williams a little bit early. He's bow forward as he rolls into attack onto port. Brady, meanwhile, a thin speed build towards the pin as they approach the line for the start. It's going to be split tacks. At the gun. Very close start for Brady at the pin, heading left. Ian Williams immediately into attack from the right-hand side, and we're off in race 4 of the World Championship Finals. Brady looking over his shoulder. Relatively even at this point as they head upwind. The first cross, Brady on port. Has he got it? Yes, across Williams. So first blood in this match goes to Gavin Brady in the lead. Now the question, will he tack and stay with his opponent or split from Williams? It's a split. Top of the track, it's going to be close. Williams on port. From the left, Brady trying to get a piece of him with the rights on starboard tack. Has he got it? Can he force Williams to tack? No, Gavin Brady concedes, tacking thin on ley line to leeward of his opponent. And now it's Ian Williams out in front into the set. Crew rushing into action to get the kite set on the British boat. Gavin Brady close enough to attack just behind. In these light airs here at the top of the track, Williams will jibe on to starboard. And Brady holds. It's a split. Brady knows he has got to catch Ian Williams and pass him to stay in this regatta to have any hope at the World Championship. Meanwhile, it is Williams ahead at the bottom of the track. He'll round the left-hand gate. Gavin Brady is slow, has to sail extra distance to get a split to the right of his opponent as Williams tacks to stay with Brady. Things seem a bit more subdued on board Brady's boat as they head upwind. First puff will go to Williams. Big breeze there. Williams looking strong. Keeping an eye on Brady to leeward. And it's a big gain by Williams from the left at the top of the track. This the final windward mark. Next stop is the finish line for the Brits. And time running out for Gavin Brady there to leeward. As Williams rolls into a jibe. Things looking pretty calm and in control aboard the British boat. No sign of Gavin Brady as Ian Williams heads for home. There's the gap, too far now for the American team to catch up. Williams can almost taste the victory as he jibes towards the finish. Looking to wrap up this World Championship. You can feel the exhale and the pressure coming off. It's only one more turn, one more jibe to the finish line. To earn the championship. Here in Shenzhen, China, the final jibe is made to target the line. No pressure now, the hard work is done. Ian Williams wins again, a record-breaking 7th World Match Racing Tour win, more than any other team in the history of the tour. A record that's eluded him for the past 8 years. What a victory, what a team. World champions again. As Ian Williams congratulates his crew. And Gavin Brady, an incredible week for him as well. Runner-up in the World Championship final after more than 10 years away from the tour. But it's a 7th World Championship title for Ian Williams and the China One Ningbo team. A milestone in the history books of the World Match Racing Tour that will long be remembered.
You don't get many chances to win a world championship like this. Kind of feel, well, where can I take it from here? You know, can I keep doing this and have another shot at it, or say, hey, it was being fun? But couldn't have wished to sail against a better team in the final. Feel happy to be in the final, but still a little disappointed.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's been a long time coming, actually. When was it? 2016 was the last world title for us, so we battled away. We've never stopped trying, and it's just fantastic with these guys to come here and win the 7th one.
A glittering award ceremony is a fitting climax to the 2023 World Match Racing Tour. An outstanding performance by Megan Thompson and her 2.0 racing team. A moment in history as she becomes the first female skipper to ever grace a Match Racing World Tour Championship podium. Gavin Brady leads his True Blue Racing team from the USA to a 2nd place, earning a $32,000 prize check. But it's perhaps the crowning achievement for Ian Williams in setting a record 7th World Match Racing Tour Championship and taking home the coveted World Match Racing Tour Championship trophy. It's been a fantastic first-time event at the World Match Racing Tour Final Shenzhen BAOAN in China, which brings the 2023 World Match Racing Tour to a close in sensational style.